Team selling is evolving as the next big buzzword in the industry, really under the umbrella of practice management. This is what I'm hearing from most of my clients. They'd like to understand how to build teams. They'd like to understand what the benefits are of teams. People would like to understand what's really required if you're going to go ahead in that direction. My bottom line on team selling, because I've been involved with it directly for, well, first in the computer industry, which is where I introduced it in the 80s, and then in the 90s in the insurance industry. Bottom line is that when you look at people who are on teams over a 5 or 6 year period versus a similar peer group during that same period, you're going to see a production increase that's somewhere in the neighborhood of 250% or better. So bottom line, why are people going to teams? Well, there's a production improvement, first of all. The second of all is it solves some of the recruiting problems that people have, because every team that's successful and grows has a requirement for people, and the producers on the teams want to be involved in that recruiting process because they want to pick their teammates. If you want to build a Super Bowl team, you want to build it with #1 draft choices. You're not building with 14th rounder. So they want to be involved, and they want to help to pick those people, and they want to make sure those people are compatible with what they're trying to do. So it impacts that, and then it impacts retention. Because as you watch agencies that have participated in this program for a prolonged period of time, when the #1 Guardian agency has got a retention rate of 74%, that's unheard of. You know, the pilot agency that we did all the work on this program has a retention rate of 66%. Those are big numbers, especially when you have agencies that have populations that are 150 or more producers. And that's pretty substantial. So I think team-based selling, just as a, you know, it's not only the buzzword, it's the direction people are going, because the old model's dead. The entrepreneurial model is as dead as it can be. So let me talk a little bit about why that's so. When I talk to people about team-based selling, the first thing that I talk to the managing partner or the managing director about at a GA is, do you have producers in your shop who are very experienced, 10, 15, 20 years, who, as you look at their production over the last several years, it's flat, plus or minus 5%. They have a large book of business, and they're not growing at all in the last couple of years. Those are the cornerstones of where we start when we build teams. Because the reasons that they're stuck is because they were successful individual entrepreneurs who now have too many clients to service, have stopped prospecting in their business, and therefore their production results have flattened. We can take that individual, and by building a team around them, explode their production, get them right back on this path that I'm talking about, where a couple of years down the road you're going to see a doubling at a minimum of their production. By coupling them with other producers, both mid-level reps and new producers, we have the opportunity to grow those people as well. New reps that go on teams learn the business. This is what managers tell me now. Learn the business. They probably get about 3 years experience in the first year. So their learning curve is accelerated substantially. And why is that? Well, they're involved with joint work. They're seeing how more senior level producers approach situation. They're getting directly involved with cases that they would never get exposure to if they were doing it on their own. And they get to see how the top level clients, I call them the big dogs, operate. And they realize that there's a lot of opportunity in an underserved market. The biggest underserved market in the industry today is the high end. There's not very many qualified people who are really focused on that and can really do that job. And so if you're a financial planner or a financial advisor and you can do that job, there's a market opportunity waiting for you. And there's probably 3,000 to 4,000 households per top level producer, per experienced producer that are out there today, based on the research numbers. So when we build these teams, we build them with the intent that this is a business that we're building together. The team is a business that's being built together. Therefore, everybody has to be advantaged by being on this team. It's not about just an experienced producer doing better. It's not about the mid-level guy doing better. It's not about the protege doing better. It's about everybody doing better. It's about the coach. If there's a coach or a sales manager involved with this team, that person doing better because their job of recruiting is easier. The production levels of those people are going to be better. So the first tenet that I look for is always, how do we make everybody win in this environment?